Hi guys, I'm going to talk about something that has been bothering me a little bit the past week or two. I'm going to just give my opinion on this, and let me know in the comments your side. Let me know, because this is just, again, one perspective. As a stay-at-home mom, as a wife, as a partner to my husband, I respect and appreciate him. Now, I want to make it very clear that my husband is not perfect. There are days that he royally ticks me off. There are days that he hurts my feelings. There are days that he says things that are insensitive. There are days that I want to punch him in the face or other places, but I want more children, so that's not something I can really do. Now, that being said, my husband is an amazing partner. My husband goes to work so that I can stay home with our daughter. Now, number one, I chose to stay home with our daughter. My choice, not his. He gave it to me. He would have been an amazing stay-at-home dad, but I got to choose. I got to decide who stayed home and who stayed at work, and I wanted to stay home. Okay, so please understand, I have the run of the roost. If I want something, if I feel very passionate that something needs to happen a certain way, that's what happened. I trust him. He is my partner. That's why I married him. He's a loving and doubtful husband. He challenges me. He expects me to be the best version of myself that I can be, but he also works hard to give me every single tool I could possibly need to achieve the best me I can be. And I strive to do the same thing in return for him. We are there to build each other up, not tear each other down. However, it feels like almost everywhere I look, women are bashing their husbands. And I don't condone it when men bash their wives either. I'm not talking about venting, I'm talking about bashing. So I get really confused when I see post after post after post complaints about how horrible their husband is, or how he treated her so badly. Number one, if you are in an abusive relationship, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically abusive, that's not healthy. If you're in an abusive relationship, get out. You are worth more than that. What I'm talking about is when you have a functioning relationship with two adults. I am not going to guess the level of maturity for the relationship or the adults involved. And something goes wrong, something happens, and you don't feel appreciated. There are days I don't feel appreciated. So when he comes home, he's exhausted, he's frustrated, he's had a whole long day that he's just, And I've had a whole long day where I'm just so ready to get some time to myself, or I'm ready for adult time. And he's, as an introvert, needs time alone to decompress and refocus so that he can be a better husband to me. My husband and I work really hard to make sure that we communicate with each other and that we keep open channels of communication, which any therapist will tell you, communication is the number one thing you need to make a partnership or relationship work. So if you're not communicating, how can it work? I'll talk about two things. These are my sort of big things that I did to try to help our relationship be better. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is, some years back, my father-in-law had us watch the movie Fireproof with him. And yes, we are religious. Yes, we are Christian. But whatever faith you have, the basic principle behind how to fix a relationship, and if it's fixable, is important. And that's basically that you don't make each day about you. You make the days about them. So, for example, each day, Grace wakes us up around 7 to 7:30 in the morning. Sometimes she lets us sleep in a bit longer. I get up, I change Grace, I feed her, and then I go downstairs and I make breakfast for my husband and I so that we can have breakfast together. And while I'm making breakfast and he's getting ready for work, I pack his lunch. Now, this is for two reasons. One, it saves us a lot of money. It is so much less expensive for him to have a sandwich, some chips, V8, stuff like that in his lunch, rather than going out and buying a $10 salad or a $10 meal or whatever. It gives us money to be able to go out for dinner together, or a new pair of shoes that I like. It gives us $50 a week to put in savings or to put towards something we want or whatever. And secondly, I do it because he feels special He feels acknowledged and respected and like I care about him by my making his lunch. How simple is that? It's not that it's my place, it's that he goes into work, and when people see his lunchbox, they're like, oh, you know your lunch? If they see him eating lunch, I write notes. I'm cheesy. I write a note on his napkin. Every day, I write a note on his napkin. And when people come into his office and they're like, oh, like, there's a note on your napkin, he goes, yeah, my wife packed my lunch today and wrote me a note. He feels special, acknowledged, respected, and loved by me saying, I love you on a napkin in a lunch I made. 10 minutes of my day. That's it. 10 minutes of my day. And what I found is when he's having a bad day, when he's mad at me for something I did, because I do lots of things that annoy him and set him off, just like he does things that annoy me and set me off. When I pack his lunch, it makes his day better. And when I do little things like that for him, I get it back tenfold. Little things make a huge difference. When he comes home and he's exhausted and he needs time to decompress, all I want after all day of being just me and the baby and the cashier at Walmart who talks to me, thank you cashiers at Walmart, all I want is adult time with him. All I want is just time with him, because I'm an extrovert. And he being an introvert, he needs to be alone in a room for 30 to 45 minutes. And if it's a bad day, I don't even kiss him when he gets home. I let him go into the room, go be by himself for 30, 45 minutes, and when he comes back out, I ask him about his day, I give him a kiss, and we spend time and we just talk together. And so instead of getting a husband who's short-tempered and frustrated and angry, not at me, but I am bearing the brunt of it, I have a loving and happy husband. Is it a little harder for me to wait? Yes, but it's 30 to 45 minutes. My waiting 30 to 45 minutes, does it add up over the years? Yes, but could 30 to 45 minutes a day help save my marriage? That is worth it. My husband is an investment. My time in him is an investment. I want to make it better. I want to improve upon my investment. I want to put work into it and take care of it. You have to take care of things. You have to work at a relationship. And I feel like so many people don't work at a relationship. My husband and I have been together for almost 13 years. We dated for 5 years before we got married, and we're coming up on our 8th year anniversary in July. We have outlasted a large percentage of marriages. We have 8 years. That's it. 8 years. It's not easy. We almost got divorced the first year of our marriage. There are times I want to wring his neck, and there are times I know he wants to wring mine. But at the end of the day, every day, and when we wake up every day, I choose him and he chooses me. And we put work in and we put time in and we put effort into each other. And when we're courteous and loving towards the other person and we do little things for the other person, they want to do little things for us. And then instead of tearing each other down over and over and over again, we're building each other up over and over and over again. I understand how people can get in a rut and how the rut can lead to being unhappy and feeling not respected or cared for by another person. And I understand how having a child can make that a lot harder to keep up with, because grace comes first to both of us. Grace comes first because she needs us. I don't need my husband. I choose my husband. It's hard work. It's effort. But it's worth it. So if your husband messes up, and I'm talking about messes up like forgets Valentine's Day, which it's Valentine's Day. Really? Is it nice to have a holiday where you can celebrate, love? Yes, but love never runs out. You cannot run out of love. Love grows and builds on itself. When you give all of your heart, you never run out. When people say, I never thought I could love someone more than I loved you yesterday or the day before or before we had a child, but I love you more now, that's because love doesn't empty. When you give love away, you get love back. It never runs dry. It is a resource that we never run out of unless we choose not to nurture it. So I'm a fully functioning adult. I can go have a job, and if I needed to be, I could be a single mother. If my husband dies in a car wreck on the way home today, I will be heartbroken. I will be devastated. I love him. He is the love of my life. But I will get up tomorrow, I will take care of my daughter, I will get a job, and I will be a responsible adult who takes care of my business. I will miss him. I would hurt every day for the rest of my life. But that doesn't stop me being who I am. I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a teacher, I am a woman. I love to dance, I love to sing, even though it's horrible when I do not sing well. I am a competent driver. I know my shortcomings, and I'm a careful driver and a responsible driver. I don't go tearing around or ignore people, even though I'm a female. Okay? I'm a competent driver. I'm intelligent. I'm not a genius, but I'm intelligent. I love everybody. I care for every student that I had that walked into my classroom became a kid to me, like my own kid to me. Even the ones that treated me badly and didn't care, it didn't matter. I gave them love because they were in there to learn. I gave them a safe learning environment. I am not one thing. I am not defined by one aspect of my life. I'm defined by all and by how I treat the world, and that includes my husband. So yes, are there things that my husband does that tick me off? Oh my gosh, to no end. But do you know who I tell? My husband. That way, I tell him point blank when it happens that what he said hurt me. And you know what happens? He doesn't always respond great every time. Sometimes he gets even more mad. But half the time that anger is because he didn't want to hurt me. We are human. We are imperfect. If you have compassion and you really are willing to listen to both sides, not just go, oh, I'm alone all day and I'm working for a stay-at-home spouse is just as hard as being the stay-at-home spouse while your partner is working. If you don't fight for it before, if you don't put in every day and you don't fight for it with little battles, you're going to end up in a war. And you can't always come back from that. So I guess my frustration is, so what if your husband didn't get you something for Valentine's Day? So what if he's moody sometimes when he gets home? So what if he doesn't want to spend time with you and join, like, become one person and just talking, and you never leave him alone as soon as he gets home? People need space sometimes. The drive home might not be enough, but you give them a little bit of space and you get affection back. Okay, so that first point I wanted to make is when you have a problem with your spouse, take it to them. They are the one who can fix it. They are the one who's the issue. Or you're the one that's the issue. But either way, you have to have the conversation with them. Secondly, don't go telling the world, because to the world, you should be defending your partner. What I mean by that is my husband has said things when we are out in public that are stupid. He says things that are flat out right incorrect, or I don't like that he said it, or it's not proper that he said it, or whatever. But I don't tear him down in front of people in public. As soon as we get in the car, oh, he is going to get an earful. As soon as we get home, he is going to get an earful. If I feel like he pushed me aside and I was hurt by what he did when we were in public, I am not going to make a scene in public. Not because I don't like scenes. I am talking to however many people watch this video. That's not the issue. The issue is I respect my husband as a person. So my issue with him personally is going to be my issue with him personally. And I don't need to bring everything else into it. So I get it. I get the frustration, and I get that you have to vent to somebody sometimes. Keep a journal, because when you tear down your partner to the world that they go out in and work their tail off in to provide for you, how are they going to feel respected? And I don't know about you, but when I don't feel respected, I don't really want to do something for somebody. I don't. Tearing down someone that you're supposed to be a partner to, tearing down someone that you're supposed to have trust in front of other people is showing them disrespect. And if they did it to you, you would not be okay with it and you would not let it stand. I think that's the frustrating part. A lot of the people who post things like that, if their husband turned around and did it to them, they would have a big scene and they would chew them out for how dare you tear me down in public when they do it all the time. I say Valentine's Day a lot because Valentine's Day just happened. My husband hates Valentine's Day, does not believe in it. To him, for one day a year, or like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, anniversary or whatever, just the birthday, to be super sweet and super nice and lovey-dovey, it is a cop-out. It is way too easy to do that for 2 to 3 days a year. That takes nothing. But to show someone you care every day, to give them respect every day, to try to do little things for them every day, that is hard. Because some days you're exhausted, because some days you're angry. So Valentine's Day, that's great. To him, he doesn't, but he knows I like to feel special. So he does something that he can deal with, that I really enjoy. And sometimes when we celebrate Valentine's Day, it's not on the day. It's 2 weeks earlier, 2 weeks later, 6 months later. It doesn't matter. Heck, I forget my anniversary half the time. I'm the one. And it'll be like 2 days ahead and I'm like, oh, we should probably plan something for our anniversary. Because it's a day. And every day I appreciate my husband. Every day I love my husband. Every day I respect my husband. So why is one day more special than others? It makes me so frustrated when over and over and over and over again, women and men do it. So just people complain about their spouses who work hard and care for them and are supportive of them. And when you tear them down, to me, that is not being supportive, loving, or respectful, and I lose respect for you. Pick one confidant, one friend that understands it and you can talk to. Don't go tell the world. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to the other person. That's just what I think. That's how I feel about it. If you liked this video or any of my other videos, or if you didn't like this video, let me know. If you have any topic ideas, costume ideas, makeup ideas, anything that you would like to see me do, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and as always, please subscribe.